Alright, in this video, we are looking at a different worst case scenario. Not worst case scenario. It is what if we pulled our legacy virus? So a little bit different deployment here, and we pulled, again, Cosmic Invasion, the D shape. So I'll throw down the crises. I will deploy my team in a second. Just show you what I want to pick here. I'm still leaving Juggernaut at home because I'm just upgrading from the last video, Pyro to Rogue, where I really like Mutant Absorption, and I like the Terrain Throw for being able to mess with the webs and their power economy. Like, I could swap these two to be Juggernaut and Pyro, and that's also really, really strong. I just think my gut goes to Rhino Rogue here, but this is also something that maybe I should just test more. What I like about this list is that Juggernaut has huge dice pools into Black Cat, which is like one of the best ways to take her down. So you could ding her for 1, where she's essentially a 4 health model at that point, and then you're rolling 8 to 10 dice, and that might be enough to take her down. And then he's immune, essentially immune to stagger. So this might be the better play here. I just know that my gut defaults to these two, because I want to employ a similar strategy to last time, which is getting 1 extract with like something like Toad, having Magneto go after whichever the unsafe grab is and punishing that, and it's actually easier to do on Legacy. I could still do that with this list, and then I'm threatening 2 different points with grabs, which makes it a little bit harder to predict. I don't know which is the right option. So I could tell you that either way, I'm going to deploy him in between 2 Cs, him in between 2 Cs, and we'll grab whichever one I think makes the most sense. I'd rather have the extract on Toad. That way Juggernaut could just sit in the center and threaten, do you know who I am? He doesn't have to pick anything up. He can just double move, maybe punch something, and threaten to do you know who I am. And then he can't really be moved by web, so it's pretty good. I'm almost talking myself into going with that over the Rhino Rogue play. This one's a little bit more self-explanatory. You send Juggernaut out to be the Rhino role of go find the extract and get it back for us. And then Magneto goes threatens a point. These guys hold off on a different point, but I kind of like how self-sufficient these two are. Whereas Pyro, I think you have to babysit a little bit more, but I don't feel like I have to babysit Rogue as much. So I would do something like this. Again, I'd always bringing Refraction. Pyrotechnics and Do You Know Who I Am come in the other slot. Robbery, since we're not bringing those models. Asteroid M. Maybe Patch Up and Fallback, something along those lines. But again, this and this, probably just as good. I guess it's a preference thing, whether you need that breaking of terrain immediately. I didn't mention in the last video, but Asteroid M is something I'm never playing round 1. I'm saving that for later in the game. Once I've created the bunker, I want to use Asteroid M to reposition Magneto or a different model to hold and set up that bunker better. We could also go Apex over Rogue. I brought him in over Bill recently because I really like the 17 squad of this, potentially. But for this game, we're going to go with Rogue, but Apex is fine too because he should be able to get power fairly early on to pounce into someone, which is another way to threaten, damage, and burden brace quickly. It doesn't really matter which one you use. I like Rogue because of the DR, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to activate these, and I'm going to set up a similar deployment to last time, and we'll talk about how to go through round 1. Okay, I would probably deploy something like this. Rhino actually wouldn't really be there. I might consider moving Rogue slightly, like switching these positions, actually. So there was a size 1 that was right here that I deleted. Because it doesn't matter why I deleted it, but it was right there. So I would position Toad here so that he could get into that size 1. I don't think he could throw it and hit that one, no. So we'll talk about the size 1, or if the size 1 wasn't there, or is there, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't know if this is the right deployment for webs, but I want to put safe-ish grab, and safe grab directly across just to show you that you don't know which one they're going to take. So let's talk about why I deployed. I want Toad to be in between these two so he can get to either one. This is the one we really want, so he can be behind that truck. I don't think... Come on. Awesome. Come on. Yeah, he could hold that point and pick up the legacy and be fairly safe. Alternatively, he can grab this one in like a safe-ish in the center. I don't know which one the Webs player will open up with. This is the one I'd rather. I'd rather he just take it with ASM and move backwards. That's best case scenario. Worst case, I think, is him picking this one up with Cat. I don't think it's that bad because I'll just grab the center. So if I grab center with Toad, it's actually I think this is really good for me. Let's say I grab center, so we'll put her there. I'll put him here as if he did grab it, and then Toad is here. So these are the three potential safe grabs they could do on Legacy. So what are we opening with? Well, Toad's going to grab this one, or he'll grab this one. I'm fine with either of those things. If I had a choice, I think I'd rather take the center because I want him to eventually end up back here. And I want Magneto to punish one of the two sides and be on a point. So this is the one I would rather Toad get if I can help it. But presumably ASM would grab that. Maybe they don't bring ASM. Not every Webs player is doing that these days. But this is where I want Toad to be. So let's say he grabs either of those. We do the same thing as last time. Toad is going to throw the size 2 into the size 1 that was there, which would put... He would have another power from a construct. I would maybe put the construct out somewhere like that to give Toad cover. I'm not really sure where I'd want to put that. I'd have to kind of guess as to where I'm going to go, but something like that maybe. Then, so after throwing that terrain, we'll have a power there, a third power there, and I had to give one to Lockjaw to teleport Magneto. Then I'm going to teleport Magneto to whichever side he already grabbed. I think I'd rather probably go into Toad. It also depends on Gwen, like where Gwen is positioned. Gwen would probably be more center, but I think I would move towards Toad. Or in this situation, I guess I'll rely on him. So Magneto moves up. You know, he can grab this size 3, throw it, hit Cat, who can't brace, and move. He's not on the point. I was a little sloppy with the deployment there, but he'll attack, and he doesn't get the whatchamacallit. He doesn't get his rerolls, but it's still like pretty good. The other option is, and it's whichever one you feel most comfortable with. This having no size 3 over here makes it less appealing. But if I did that, this is the side I chose to go into. We go, we move, we throw the size 2 into Toad, who can't slippery. Oh no. Okay, I was within range 3. We attack. Hopefully we do the damage between the throw, which he couldn't brace, and the 6 dice. If not, we bring him towards us. He moves away. If he goes up here, it's probably the better thing, because even though he's close, I can't throw anything else at him. Depends what he does next. But Rhino would be at 3 power from that throw. And then like Rhino can... By the way, Lockjaw's other action is to go there. He can like move, do his thing, you know, like we did last round. Threaten something. I'm being a little lazy with my placement just because I recorded a few videos today and I have to pick up my son soon. Do his thing and like slide into Toad and go after. So between the 6 dice, the throw, and his 7 dice, like we should get Toad dead round 1. You'd assume. Ideally, we would have done it with Magneto. If we did it with Magneto, dropping the legacy, then his action is going to be go threaten, you know, a back point sitter, or if ASM did a safe grab, something like that. Just like we did last round, and threaten back there, going into try to kill Ghost Spider, something along those lines. Rogue should have gotten a 2nd power by now. Rogue is probably going to, if I already got a legacy, and I already have 2, she's not going to do anything other than hold this side. So she'll like move up and either sit on a cosmic or go over here. Like potentially I could see her double moving towards one of the sides to mutant absorption. But I would assume that one of these models is going to displace Magneto or Lockjaw, and then she's just going to go and move to one of those points to sit there. So this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the other one, and it's a little bit sloppier because of time. But I think you got the general impression, which is Magneto's going to get teleported, walk, throw, attack, and hopefully daze something around one, which for me has been really consistent. The goal is to go before Ghost Spider gets power from Wong, which I didn't bring Wong here. I don't know what the Webs player is going to bring, but we threaten the unsafe grab. I actually like Legacy a lot because even though it's not parity round one, there's multiple safe grabs, and like yes, they can cat and the spider, and yes, they have Toad, but neither one of those are safe. Really, well, the cat and the spider is. I'm pretty happy with what our round one pressure can be. And if we can free up Rhino to not grab something and just go pressure a back point and just go be a jerk, that's really, really good. And that's like a significant advantage Brotherhood has over other affiliations, is that we have one of the best, actually we have the best Rhino. Better than Hellfire in my opinion. And then in this situation we can bring Rogue. If we had gone Juggernaut, I still grab with Toad. I still teleport with Magneto to go into their Toad or their Black Cat. And then Juggernaut can go pressure like the other one here. So that actually might have been like the better opening. Let's pretend this was Juggernaut. You know, Magneto ends up over there. Dazes a Toad, hopefully. I would have positioned him somewhere else. I would have positioned maybe him here and Magneto here potentially to like create different openings. And if this was Juggernaut, you know, he can walk. Either walk and throw Cat back, or just like, or throw a size 3 and you know, she can't brace. Or just have him, you know, slide, punch with 8 dice. Presumably get like, you know, a couple power from that, hopefully. Just from the large dice pool, and slide her again, but he pressures for next round. Maybe he gets enough where we can like, do you know who I am or something. Whatever the case may be, but I think this is like a pretty solid opening. And then, of course, she'd be Pyro, who would just sit here or walk there. I don't really want to walk this way. If Magneto dazed something there, then Pyro goes that way. If Magneto doesn't daze that model, Pyro probably still goes that way. But our goal is like to get an extract with one of these models and then hold these 2 points and let Juggernaut do his thing. Actually, as I'm saying it out loud, I'm leaning more and more towards the Juggernaut Pyro plan might be better. It really depends on your comfort level. I've gotten pretty comfortable not playing as much Juggernaut, but I think here having Juggernaut to pressure Cat, Magneto to pressure Toad might be the better opening. But either way, you've got 2 different options for you to figure out which one you prefer. Okay, so in the next video, I'll look at Scoundrels. And Scoundrels I'm really happy with. That's my favorite if we lose Prio and get Scoundrels. And then I'll do one more video, what happens if we win Prio and we end up on 16 or 17. Ideally, I'd like to lose Prio more often than not into this matchup, just to pick threat. If the Web player gives you a higher threat, that's really, really good for you. When you have Prio, if we get lower threat, it's less good, but we still have quality models that can help us at lower threat. So got 2 more videos I'm going to record. I'm not going to be recording them today most likely, so look out for those in the next couple of weeks.